Hi everyone, so today is scan day. I get a CT scan of all of my body basically, making sure that the cancer is behaving itself and it's not spread anywhere else. Usually getting a scan or having any kind of test is quite nerve-wracking, but I'm actually quite excited to see how much of this cancer I have nailed. So not allowed to eat anything beforehand, so I'm absolutely starving, but we're planning on a lovely breakfast straight after the scan. Got all dizzy. I need water. Feels like you weed yourself. It does. The cold one. I can tell.
You're done?
I gotta wait 15 minutes before my needle can come out.
Fun?
Yeah, great fun. I hate being in those things.
What does it do?
It's just like a donut and it slides you in and out, but it's just you can like feel, for me I'm like I feel the radiation going in my body and I just hate it. But
So why does it make you feel like you peed yourself?
because it's called a contrast scan, so basically twice they'll pump this liquid in me which makes it feel all hot and lovely at the back of your throat, and then you can feel it kind of seeping down, and then all of a sudden it's like you've got wet pants, but you don't. They assured me that you don't actually wee yourself. It just feels like it. But the nurse said that I'm the best chemo patient she's ever seen.
Ooh.
And she was like, you come here a lot. She's like, I feel like you've been here for years. I'm like, well, yeah, it's kind of been like a year and a half. But she's like, I've never seen anyone look so good going through treatment.
Boom.
I visualized it all clear, so we'll see what happens. So I had my CT scan today. And as I mentioned on a little post earlier, it's kind of a weird one really, because when you've had tests, or when I've had tests in the past, they've always been kind of the unknown, and usually it's pretty certain that the results is not really something that you're gonna want to hear about. When I first got diagnosed, luckily when I changed to Dr. Sharp, the first thing that they did was do a full body CT scan on me. And I remember the thoughts running through my head, just thinking, well, basically planning your funeral. You know, the fact that you know that it's cancer to begin with, to then think, well, could it be in my brain? Could it be in my lungs? You know, how much do I not know? It's just something that doesn't really hurt you until kind of the end. So I've kind of classified it as like a silent ninja before, which I think is why it's always been so scary to me. You can live for so long with it, and when you finally find out that you've got it, it's too late. But the test results of my first scan always came back really positive. It hadn't spread, so I hadn't really had to have one until I made the choice to have one after chemotherapy, and it came back all clear. But I even remember then just so sort of dreading the thought of what could be. I remember the cancer really hurting me just before my operation, and thinking, you know, even in that short space of time, has it had a chance to spread anywhere else? Which it had, but they obviously weren't able to see it. When I got diagnosed again and I had to have my CT scan, I think that was probably the worst time of all. I remember my doctor basically saying it's not really kind of a longevity of life for you, and she was adamant it would have been somewhere else. So that was really probably the most painful results to have to wait for. And I'm sure that a lot of you kind of can feel the pain of, you know, having any blood work done or anything really. It just takes so long for it to come back. But this time it just feels so different. I just feel so much more in control. with everything that I'm doing, it's not a case of has it worked. It just seems like it's more a case of it's impossible that it's anywhere else. It's impossible that it hasn't shrunk. There's obviously this little gremlin, this sinking feeling of, what if I've got this all wrong? What if everything I'm doing is just a load of nonsense and it's a way of me just kind of trying to be in control? But the amount of research that I've done and the stories that I've seen, it just wouldn't make any sense for those results to come back anything but a miracle of how much the cancer's actually gone. So luckily for me, I get these results pretty much just before Christmas. But I said to the nurse, that doesn't really make any difference because it's going to be a good test result. So it'll be something for me to celebrate rather than something that you don't want to hear, obviously, coming up to Christmas. So not only have I got my body on side with becoming vegan, with a couple of cheat days here and there with a little bit of fish, I've also started looking into oils, so I'm gonna have that as a backup as well. I've got CBD crystals, which I've still got a little bit to learn about, but taking those and my mind really, I think being my most powerful tool. I hear a lot that breast cancer actually originates from your emotions, especially the type of cancer I have. It's so unexplainable. There's not really anything that they can say that causes it, being triple negative. And so the way I look at it is what you think about is what you then bring to your life. I'm thinking cancer-free, hence I will be cancer-free. So just, I guess, as a little motivational message to leave it with, don't ever feel like it's not achievable. If you feel so strongly about something, I can guarantee it will happen. Just gotta wait. Life has a funny way of doing things at the right time. So love you all. Thank you so much for your support. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And, anything I can do to help, any questions, please feel free to ask. Night.